to the Back and Forth podcast. We told you we were going to get some more content for you.
Whoa, is it back and forth or 4 quarters?
I thought it was back and forth.
I mean, I'm cool with whatever. I
don't know.
Channel's 4 quarters.
Yeah. Welcome to the Back and Forth podcast on the 4 quarters
There you
channel.
go.
How about that?
There you go.
A little too much of this, huh? Anyways.
I don't think coffee's in that.
No, it's definitely not.
Some Jack Daniels.
Yes.
That's what's in there.
Cheers.
That's what being a Steelers. That's what being a Steelers, Golden Knights, Clippers, and UNLV Athletics supporter does to you.
Yes.
So
I'm in severe rehab for.
You just got out of rehab, yeah.
The interesting season that the Steelers put me through. How about that? So.
I mean, I'd rather go through that than what the Cowboys put me through.
That's even worse.
The expectations are already low for you guys, and you guys kind of somewhat.
That's what the rehab officer
exceeded expectations. As for the Cowboys, the expectations were high,
right? And
in typical Dallas Cowboy fashion, we went below.
Right when I was going to go ballistic, the rehab officer showed me a picture of the Dallas Cowboys and said, "You could be this," and that kind of calmed me down a little bit. So,
fuck you.
All love though for both teams, no doubt. But yes, definitely an interesting season for both of our teams. Unfortunately, both our teams' seasons are officially over, being eliminated from the playoffs. We've got
playoff contention.
Even
in the playoffs.
Yes, eliminated from the playoff talk officially. We do have a playoff field that is set, and surprisingly enough, New England does not have a first-round bye this year.
Was that the first time since 2009?
Yes, it's been a while.
Something like that.
Yeah, probably the first time this decade. So
Actually, right. If it was 2009, it would be the first time.
Yeah, so definitely interesting. So what do you want to go for? You want to go over the playoff field or what our teams did? What you want to do?
I mean, first, I guess we'll go over our teams. Being a Dallas fan since 2006 or 2007, somewhere one of those years.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of disappointed, but you get used to it, I guess. This was supposed to be a really good season. From what the first 3 weeks brought to us, that 3-0 start. The defense playing stellar, the offense just racking up points. You would have thought that they would be contenders in the NFC. They would win the NFC East. And with that roster, you would think that they would be in that NFC championship title game. But that's what happens when you have 14-2 talent and 3-13 coaching. It bounces out to about 8-8. Really disappointing. But again, kind of you get used to it. And I'm really curious as to why Jason Garrett still has a job. The dude has been in Dallas for about 10 years. Only 3 of those years he's made the playoffs. So a 30% success rate pretty much. This year he was 1-6 against teams above a 500 record. This team should not be 8-8 with the talent it has. He's underperformed every single season except 2017 where it was Ezekiel Elliott's and Dak Prescott's rookie year and they went 13-3. Other than that, he's disappointed and underperformed every single season. But Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett have been friends since the 80s, so Jerry Jones is going to let his personal relationship get in the way of this, and he's going to probably end up keeping him. If it's going to take him 48 hours to make a decision, it kind of just tells me he's probably going to stay another year, which I don't know why, but that's Jerry Jones for you. So, and again, I was watching, NFL Live earlier today, and one of the reporters, had obviously said that she wouldn't be surprised that he is back, come 2020. And honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised either. And if that happens, putting all my Cowboy stuff in a bin, and I'm going down to Lake Mead, and I'm throwing it in Lake Mead. So, I'll burn the remains.
Since they have the fish feast on it, huh?
Yeah, or I'll have the fish poop on it or whatever. And I'll probably just be a Raiders fan, which may even be even worse. So I might just be a football fan and just watch football.
There you go.
Because I don't know how much longer I can go through this before I turn into a functioning alcoholic.
Honestly, you want some?
No, I'm good, man.
Okay.
I'm
good. In all seriousness, though, watching this Cowboys team from afar, they fooled me. I said, pretty early on, I think it was probably a little bit after the draft or something like that, this Cowboys team is definitely capable of going 11-5, 12-4, easily winning the division. You don't necessarily know what you're getting from the Eagles. At best, you probably get somewhere like 9-7. Cowboys historically haven't had any trouble with the Eagles too. That also played a factor. And you've got Washington and the Giants, who both stink. Let's put it that way. That's probably the best way to describe those two teams in the NFC East. Is they're just not good. They proved that this year. So looking at that, and I said, Dak's going to be playing for a lot. Could be, playing for a new contract. He's going to be motivated. Zeke was still a little bit in question, but I like what I saw even from Tony Pollard, if that's the option they had to go to. You got a great receiving core. Randall Cobb's pretty good since he's gotten there.
Randall Cobb, Michael Gallup.
Gallup was great.
Mari Cooper, that offensive line.
I would say Mari Cooper brought life into Dallas last season. Was on the verge of missing the playoffs, and Amari Cooper comes in and totally revamps the franchise and gives Dak probably that much-needed go-to weapon. And then you also bring in old reliable Jason Witten in case you have a short and distance type of situation where you need a quick pass. Something along that, maybe even a goal line situation. And not to mention, you've got a great defense where you've got, Sean Lee, you've got Vayton
Lander
Esch, or something like that. Or Vander Esch, I think is what his last name is.
Or Thad from Blue Mountain State.
Yeah.
Have you seen that show?
Yeah.
Blue Mountain State, he looks just like Thad from...
And
what's his name? His name's Thad, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the linebacker.
And then you've got, not even to mention the defensive line with DeMarcus Lawrence coming off one of the end.
DeMarcus Lawrence, Antoine Woods, Malik Collins,
Randy Gregory.
No, he's gone.
Is he gone?
Tyron Crawford, even though he got hurt. The point was, they have a lot of weapons and they shouldn't be in a position where they're 8-8, or they shouldn't be in a position where they're on the verge of making the playoffs, or,
Yeah,
they're getting tossed in the wild card or the first round of the playoffs. This team should be contending every single year with that kind of roster. But when you have terrible coaching, that's just kind of what happens. So hopefully Jerry makes the right decision, but I kind of got a very gut feeling that he's going to end up keeping Jason Garrett.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. I feel like if he had his mind made up, he would have obviously... Jason Garrett would be on the market right now with all the other coaches that have been...
He would have been fired today.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, he would have been fired on, along with plenty of other coaches that have gotten the boot today and late last night. Guys like Freddie Kitchens, the Giants guy, I just...
Pat Shurmur.
Thank
Your
you.
Voice crack. Jesus.
Yeah,
fuck.
Pat Shurmur. The Jags, I think, have gotten rid of their coach, too.
Yeah, they got rid of him.
So, yeah, he'd be on the market just with those guys. But the fact that Jason Garrett is still the head coach currently of Dallas, and that, Jerry's taken this long, kind of gives me that sense that, Jerry's going to revert back to, well, he finished strong, and he had a great last game against the Redskins. He beat them 44-16.
He beat fucking piss poor Redskins team,
and he's
at home.
He went 5-1 in the division.
5-1 in a piss poor division. Let's keep him. Let's give him another run.
Right.
I like this character.
Not to mention.
I want to see if there's any updates real quick.
Not to mention there's
any fucking hope I have left.
I would say not to mention you've got a terrible loss to the Jets on the road. You've got a bad loss to Minnesota, a game that was very winnable for the Cowboys, and you've got a crucial loss to the Eagles the second time around, where you had to win that game. You win that game. Eagles are sitting in the wild card right now playing, or actually, yeah, they'll be playing in the wild card, but it'd be a home game for them against, I believe, Minnesota, I want to say. So it'd be like a rematch or something like that. So nonetheless, you get to the wild card. I think they could probably win that wild card game. Nonetheless, I do think Dallas would be talented enough to do that. But like Joey said, you have a roster that's easily capable of 12-4, 13-3 on a great day, 14-2. But you have Jason Garrett, who, as your coach, that is just constantly underperforming. 4-12, 3-13, 5-11 type coaching. That's just not going to get it done.
Yeah.
I know. I saw this morning even. I'm not sure how much accuracy this had, but it did say that the Cowboys coaching staff had been fired. I don't think that gained a ton of traction just because we haven't heard anything official yet.
Yeah. So it says Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett has exited the meeting with the Joneses, and we are being told no announcements will be made here at the Star, which is the Dallas Cowboys headquarters in Frisco, Texas on Jason Garrett.
My guess is something either comes out extremely late tonight or very early tomorrow morning.
If I don't wake up to Jason Garrett fired, man.
Because I think that meeting was the ultimate deciding factor. I don't know. We obviously don't know what transpired, but I think either one or two things happened. In
that meeting was, I'll tell you what that meeting was. It was Jerry Jones to find every possible way to keep Jason Garrett.
And Steven just, oh, well, yeah, Jerry, you're kind of right, man. Yeah.
Stephen Jones should be the one that has control of that franchise. But, I mean.
Well, yeah, you make a good point,
But Jerry, put him in the old folks' home, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Jerry's not getting any younger, by the way. So
I mean no.
You've got a roster.
Some of these decisions he's making, you can clearly tell that it might be the age. So
yeah, I mean, and not to mention, like we said, you've got a roster that can contend with literally any NFL team.
Yeah, you want to keep fucking Jason Garrett, who's literally 90% at fault. I want to say playing a huge role for an 8-8 seasons. 4 8-8 seasons, by the way.
Oh,
that's fucking elite.
I mean, it's better than 7-9, I guess, right? I mean, technically, you're not a loser.
It's not losing. It's mediocre, which that's Jason Garrett's middle name. So
yeah,
not even. He's probably below mediocre with the talent he has. So
yeah, definitely hoping for the best for the Cowboys, nonetheless. And as for my Steelers, it was an interesting season.
I mean, I don't think you should be too upset.
I'm not. No,
with the injuries you had and still this close to making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And again, what did you say? What did you say earlier on the radio? You said boat race?
Yes.
If you guys got to the...
Yes, exactly.
You would have gotten boat raced.
Yes. So
that's my new favorite term.
Exactly. We got... if we make the playoffs, it would have been a wild card game on the road at Foxborough. We already saw what happened in week 1. We were going to get both raced
close game.
By New England.
33-3, only 30 points, man.
Yeah, so, okay. And that was with Ben. So imagine throwing...
fucking Mason Rudolph.
Well, not even he. He's on IR, so imagine putting Delvin Hodges in there.
The Duck.
Here you go, Duck.
The Duck.
Go up against Tom Brady, the 6-time Super Bowl champ, and Bill Belichick.
Tom Brady.
On the road.
No, Tom Brady
Have fun, buddy.
is fucking garbage this season.
Do you think...
I don't care what anybody says. First off, he's No, that's why I want the next. I'm not even gonna get into it.
Yeah, we'll do that next.
That'll be the next one. But he's a system quarterback, and you are. Again, we'll just wait till next one.
You're gonna have to tune into the next episode. See, good plug. But no, seriously, I think if you had sat me down and said, Matt, your Steelers are gonna be 8-8, I thought, well, I would like better, but your franchise quarterback's gonna go down in week 2. He's not going to come back the rest of the season.
James Conner's going to get hurt. Juju's going to get hurt.
Exactly. James Conner's going to be out a good number of games.
You'll be on your 4th string quarterback.
Yeah. Juju's going to be a little... If he's not going to be hurt, his numbers are going to go down from last year's productivity. And you're going to be playing quarterback roulette with Delvin Hodges and Mason Rudolph. And you're going to be 8-8. I'd have laughed at you.
I'd say fucking 2-14.
I'd have laughed at you and said, we'll be lucky to win a game. Be lucky to sweep the Bengals. And even then, they might sneak a game on us. So all in all, I do got to tip my cap to Mike Tomlin. I know I do give him a little bit of crap every now and then for some bad losses, but nonetheless, it was one of his better coaching jobs this season. Really getting these guys to buy into, a situation that wasn't great. I think at one point, if I'm not mistaken, this team was 0-3 before he got his first win.
Finished the year 8-5. So
and he finished the year 8-5. Obviously. Needed some help yesterday to get into the playoffs along with winning the game. Neither one happened, but hey, you lose to a 14-2 Ravens team on the road nonetheless. That's pretty respectable. Robert Griffin III did prove that he's a pretty decent backup. And they've got some other guys too that play pretty well for the Ravens. So, and quite honestly, it looked like my team was tired. They looked like, they had to pull game after game after game out of their hat to just stay afloat. And I think going into the offseason, you really got to, if you don't buy Ben out, you have to really make sure he progresses okay from that shoulder surgery injury. I think he did have surgery on it, if I'm not mistaken. You got to make sure he's progressing well. And really, this has to be one of the best off seasons for Ben Roethlisberger, I think, to make an impact, because we saw what he brought, that opening night against New England this year. And we also saw what he did a little bit before he got hurt against Jacksonville. They were very bad reads, very bad decisions, very unlike typical Ben. So I think he's got to really either just hit the reset button, do something, to where he can come back, make those better decisions. obviously make better choices with the football and not turn it over as much. And if you can find a balance with him and James Conner, I think that'll be a better established offense. Get Juju back in rhythm for next year. This defense is fine. I'm not worried about our defense at all. I think trading for Minka turned out to be a really good pick. Minka, I think, is one of the big reasons, we got to 8-8 to begin with, because before that, it didn't look like my team was trending towards 8-8. We trade for Minka, and he brings new life into Pittsburgh. T.J. Watt stepped up and played an amazing season, and overall, I think if you, like I said, you get Ben back, you get him reset, you get him making better decisions, rejuvenates the offense a little bit. This team will be right back to 10-6 area, maybe even 11-5, depending on scheduling and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to next season.
Yeah, I'm not. So another. That's the perfect way for the Cowboys.
I'll say Noah and Jerry, you'll be waking up. Jason Garrett's been extended.
5-year extension.
Lifetime extension.
Lifetime. Fuck it. That's the perfect way for the Cowboys to end the decade by disappointing me one last time. Just the perfect way. But we appreciate you guys turning into another episode. Stay tuned for the next one. Probably going to piss off a lot of Patriot fans.
Yes, we'll get into that and the playoff field too. So.
And we'll get into the playoff field as well. So again, we appreciate your support. Make sure you subscribe and you keep up to date with these videos. As Matt said, we are rejuvenating it a little bit ever since we started doing the radio show. Again, we hope you had a Merry Christmas, or a Happy Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever holiday you choose to celebrate. Have a happy and safe New Year as well. Matt?
You know what it is. Like, subscribe, comment, drink up. Like we said, we are getting rejuvenated. Hopefully, like my Steelers quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, is getting rejuvenated. But until then, we'll see y'all in the next episode. Plenty more to come. Stay tuned.